Love me some Evo on toast with a cheeky poached egg and a flat white. Hello and what's up from the 808 Breakfast Banter. What's up, team? What is up? Just want to make a big shout out to everyone that's joining us daily, listening and sharing some of the banter with me and Chief. As we all go through this lockdown process, I'm excited and I'm pretty proud of all the adventures that we've taken on this lockdown process. Doing this banter every morning. How does it feel, bro, knowing that you're serving your community?
You know, it's crazy, right? That question of how, serving a community and anyone that's in group fitness, regardless if it's F45, boot camp, CrossFit, whatever. As soon as lockdown hit New Zealand, as soon as we knew that level 4 and what the landscape was going to look like, you just saw a huge bomb burst of super creative ideas about how to impact their communities and look after them, which has been really awesome. I actually thought we would have a huge implosion within the fitness industry in New Zealand. I just thought we wouldn't do so well.
Yeah.
And I've just been super impressed. Like, if you think about the Renegade Performance team, Kia Maya, CrossFit Whangarei, a lot of those guys that have just been like head down, bum up, working the community has been pretty cool. And I guess the idea of, the Breakfast Banter started the first day of lockdown.
Yeah, COVID-19
lockdown. Yeah, I was walking the dog at like 5 a.m. going, fuck, I'm going to have breakfast for the first time by myself. This sucks.
Yeah.
And we're like, that's when we did the Instagram Live, and then it kind of built and built.
Yeah.
And then you jumped on, I think like the third day, and then we just, and now look what we got, right?
Exactly. We're going to be having a chat with the one and only Jamie Greene. Me and you, bro.
Yeah.
Started off as a coffee and some overnight oats, and now we're having a lazy banter with the third fittest woman in the world. Are you kidding?
Yeah. And it's like, and at no point did I ever think, I am going to be here hanging out with you, my sis. It's fucking Jamie Greene, for Christ's sake. Like, the Abu Dhabi assassin came in and spanked that standard workout, got second, and I love Katrin Daviosdottir. I think she's an amazing, but she just kicked that Icelandic woman out the door and put the Kiwis on the mat. Ladies and gentlemen, there she is.
Jamie Greene. Welcome.
How are you guys?
Oh. Like I said before, if you could feel the beams of electric energy coming out of me right now, it'd probably be the same as when you'd probably approach the comp floor. Those nerves, or mine is like that.
Love it. I love it.
So what we want to do first and foremost, Jamie, is we want to ask how you and Elliot are during the coronavirus, COVID-19, how Yas is doing, and also how your whānau in the UK and New Zealand are going.
Yeah, so obviously things are pretty crazy. In Abu Dhabi, we're not actually on like a lockdown and such yet. So Dubai is a really strict lockdown, which is like an hour away from us. But Abu Dhabi has sort of just been everything shut. You're meant to be at home between like 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., which I don't think it'd ever be out anyway. But and then through the week we just go into the gym at like 6 p.m. each night and host a live workout for all the members, and it's on YouTube, so like anyone can do it, and we coach it, and then some of us have to do the workout, and then we're sort of just at home training. It's just getting like really, really, really hot. I think it's like 30 degrees right now. It's like 8 a.m. So it's just like, it's getting about 40 in the day. So we're just training in that. But otherwise, like, life's not too different here for us compared to like when I catch up with my family at home. My sister's living in town and their mum and dad are living out at home, and they're like, no, we can't really even go see each other, which I think is easy. But like, it's awesome that New Zealand have sort of like taken that stand and just got it done. But yeah, same with the UK. They're all in lockdown as well. So Elliot's family, we just catch up on Zoom and whatnot. And the thing is as well, like, it's always been blocked here, like all this sort of stuff. So now that we can actually like call home, I haven't Skyped home for like 4 years. Mum and dad like, I've never seen you so much. Yeah. So it's to be fair, there's a few good things that come out of it.
Yeah.
So whereabouts does Jamie Greene come from?
So I'm from Dunedin. We live like in town or just around the harbour, and yeah, been there my whole life till I came here, pretty much.
So I'm gonna drop a quote to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if you can recall this, and excuse my pronunciation. Bieti Mando Kode.
Oh, that's the school motto.
Yeah, do you remember what it stands for?
No, I can't.
Oh, wow. It stands for blessed are the pure in heart.
Yes.
Yes.
There's even a song. Yeah. The song.
Yeah, St. Hilda's Collegiate.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So kind of talk to us a little bit about schooling, and because you're like a rugby head, like you're kind of in that world. Talk to us a little bit about how St. Hilda's and being this active sports person had developed you and set you up for like where you are now.
Yeah, so I went to St. Hilda's from Form 1 to 7th form. That was 7 years. And I think just like I've always said it to people here as well, like the opportunities that schools in New Zealand offer is not like a lot of other places. Like we come across sports, we'll play like tennis or like even football, rugby, whatever. Everything they're like, oh, have you done this before? I'm like, well, I tried it at school because everyone had that option to do whatever sport you wanted at school. So I have to say, growing up through St. Hilda's, we got like options for everything, and also just having like the variety of like we had boarders and day girls, and it was just like a good vibe, good competition for any sport. And obviously like schooling and stuff, it was always supported going up through St. Hilda's. But yeah, I just compared to when I hear like backgrounds from other people, especially like in Abu Dhabi or even the UK, it's almost like they've got to travel so far, or you don't really have the time to do so many sports, whereas in New Zealand you can do what you want. Just please.
Yeah. That's
and do you find so you went from high school to Otago University, and that's where you studied physical education?
Yeah.
Is that when you got into the Otago Spirit rugby squad, or did you get in there during high school?
During high school. So I think I played was 6th form, 16. Yeah, so me and Cherie, one of my friends from St. Hilda's, me and her started club rugby at about 15, I think. And then, we started Spirit not long after 15, 16.
How old were you when you got the call-up?
For Spirit?
For Spirit, and then did you get a Blackfern call-up?
Yeah, so I think someone pulled out of like a Blackfern's trial, so they were like, Jamie, do you want to fill it in? And I didn't really think about it. I was like, yeah, okay, why not? Went there and got just about absolutely hammered. It's terrifying.
I found a photo, I think, from that trial.
Really?
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll send it to you on Facebook because I've got to go find it again.
I think I've lost it from memory because it was like the hardest week of my life.
and it's of you. I think it's like she's a prop forward and she's running right at you, and you can see yourself. You're reaching out and you've got her arm, but your head is snapped back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
there we go. Yep, that's probably why I blocked it from my memory.
What position did you play?
I was fullback, wing, or sometimes centre. Not when I went to like teams like that because I was a bit small or like they were so advanced. But yeah, mostly on the wing or fullback. But yeah, I think I can't remember. I must have still been in high school then, 17 or 18.
Oh.
Yeah, but I was terrifying.
And you were in the squad with Tip Lady, is that right? Is it Anika Tip Lady?
Yes, she was. She came later on to the Spirit, but she was at that trial as well because I think did she play for Canterbury or Auckland first, and then came to Spirit when I was maybe like 19, 20. Yeah.
Wicked.
Wow, that is epic.
And so, who were some of your rugby idols when you grew up? Like, who kind of like, damn.
Like I remember when I was younger, there was like a big, like Otago Highlanders crew. It was like Tame Randall.
Yeah.
Like all the originals, Josh Cromfield, all that.
Wilson.
Like 8 to 10 then. But I think when it was like that team and it was at Carisbrook and all that, I was a big fan then. Yeah. I didn't really know when I was younger, many of the black ferns, but I always had this thing in my head that I wanted to be a black fern, but I didn't really follow them that much. I think it was just because it was like the girls' version of the All Blacks.
Yeah. Understandable though, because it's only just been recognised in the last 5 or so years. Like that who some of the main players are, but before that you couldn't name any really.
No, it was just like a team that you heard about. Wow.
Yeah.
100. Did you go to the Sevens in Dubai?
I've been once. It is not as good as the Wellington ones.
Is it like the Wellington Sevens where everyone gets dressed up and never watches the Sevens, just get hammered?
Yeah, not everyone's not dressed up, but everyone gets hammered. And it's it's nowhere near as big as obviously the Wellington ones, but it's just all the expats are out and make a huge weekend of it, and it is very cool. It's very hot though again. I think I think I just had shoulder surgery and was in a sling, but I was like, I'm still going. I'm still gonna join in with everyone else. But no, it was cool.
That is cool. Hey, if you got the opportunity, if you got called up to play for the Black Ferns or the Black Ferns Sevens team, would you play? Would you give it a go? Wouldn't you?
I would feel like I'd have to train for a year for it. It's so different. Just even the physicality and just it's a different fitness as well. I feel like you just kill yourself on it. But I would love to go back to it and try it again, but I think it would take a while to condition my body again for that. Yeah, I take myself to those girls.
I reckon you could though. I reckon you'd give it a good nudge.
It would be fun. It was I do miss that team side of things and just just being outside.
Yeah.
So you did this really cool. You did 5 years at Spirit, did the trial, and then you went to Abu Dhabi as a PT, and then you went into Yas.
Yeah.
Kind of talk a little bit about, and explain and help a lot of our people who don't pretty much know what Yas is, because it really started, I don't know if it still is, but it started as something really different because you had the women's side and then you had the regular gym. Can you kind of explain and sort of expand on that?
Mm.
So CrossFit started off just actually it literally started with, so our bosses, Billy and Patty, one's Australian and one's from the UK. It started off, they were just in construction in Abu Dhabi and they saw there was a gap in the market for CrossFit gyms, and they started off as a boot camp just at one of the housing complexes, and then from there they somehow managed to get a spot in Yas Marina, and they literally just opened up. It was just open gym, and then we just had box one. And when I first went there, they'd been open 1 month, and I just went there as a member, and then it sort of went on, and they needed a female coach because it was just Elliot and Ant, the 2 boys. And then they needed a female coach, so that's where I came in, probably about a month or 2 into the gym being open. And then from there, they literally so we're in sort of a atrium sort of thing. And from there, they've just built on the boxes. So we started box 1, and now we've got and then we had another room, box 2, which was for another classes, another one, box 3, and then ladies gym came. And now we've got 6 different boxes in just in the Yes location. But then we've got 8 or 9 locations. So there's one in the city.
Wow.
And there's one in Ras Al Khaimah, Dubai, and then a few other ones just sort of outside Abu Dhabi. So it's gone from a gym with 50 to 100 members to I think they're well over 1,000, 1,500.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's we're in hospital as well. So so I'm not sure how they class them as different, but it just grew because it was just not a lot of fitness going on. Well, there was a few gyms here, but no CrossFit stuff. Then once people latched onto this, the expats came and it grew, and then the locals started to learn about fitness and CrossFit, and then from there, once one starts, they all want to join.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Epic.
Yeah,
that is
and sort of and with you've been there for 6 years now, is that right? 6 years.
Yeah.
So. And there's a huge rivalry, right, between Aussies and Kiwis, and there's a lot of expats in Abu Dhabi. Is there a huge kind of Anzac,
rivalry
between you, rivalry? So you're in the gym and one of the Aussie girls comes in.
A little bit, Australians and New Zealanders know that, but then everyone thinks of us as one. I get so often, you're from Australia, and they don't even know the difference between Australia and New Zealand. So I'm just Yeah, close enough. Whatever. But then sometimes I get, oh, so you're from the UK, and I'm like, no, I'm definitely down. So yeah, so there is a rivalry if you are Australian or Kiwi, but anyone else is like, oh, you guys are all the same. So it's cool having that. It is nice having like both around because I feel like Australians understand Kiwis a lot more than like as if you're in the UK or somewhere else. Yeah.
Do you miss home?
Yeah, definitely. Like when we came home in January for the wedding, it was just like, and also bringing everyone from here to New Zealand, I was like, oh my gosh, I forget how nice it is here. But then again, I hadn't been home in winter for like 5 years until last year. It wasn't that great. I'm not going to lie there. Winter wasn't that great, but in summer, amazing.
Yeah, and when you brought all your friends home, were you proud to be like, this is where I'm from?
Yeah, definitely. And because I think they hear me talk about it so much, and I'm like, I'll be like, talk about a place, or it's even funny, like I'll like sing ads that I know from the radio or whatever, and then like all my housemates are like, what the hell is that song? And then they learn the song, and then they come to New Zealand, and they're like, oh, that's where it's from, or whatever. It was really cool, like actually having them to come and actually see what I actually talk about. Yes. So
now you brought Samantha Briggs over, right, for your wedding?
Yeah.
She is literally like, I'm a huge fan of hers, but I would be so scared to compete against her because I feel like she'd rip my head off. What is she like as a competitor? Because the Dubai Fittest has just come out of Netflix in New Zealand. Yeah. And that was the 2018 one. And you and her had that real big battle on the last bit, and she got ahead of you and won it. What is she like as a person? Kind of describe her a little bit.
She is like one of the best people to probably compete with. Like, especially for me, like she's been around the sport forever. And like, I look up to her, like in the way she like holds herself, the way she lives her life towards CrossFit, how she competes. But she's just one of those ones, and she actually like, she wants you to do your best. Like, even if you're competing against her, but she'll want to beat you at your best, not because you mucked up. So she's also like, she's very supportive, and she's sort of like the mum when you compete. Like, she's been around forever. She knows what's happening. So if you follow along with Sam, she's going to help you out. But she's such a competitor. Like, it's all fun and games all the time. But when you get on the competition floor, we're all the same. It's just like head forward, and whoever it is, you want to beat them. But then off, like straight away, once the workout's over, it's like she's awesome to hang out with. She's
Beers and have a beer.
Yeah, exactly. And if you talk to anyone about Briggsy, like she is just the like absolute legend.
Oh,
so all I'm hearing is that New Zealand is now going to adopt her. So she's like, we're going to support Jamie Greene, and then it'd be Samantha Briggs.
Yeah. Got it. I'm sure she'll come back. She loved it.
100%.
Yeah.
Just touching on. Wait, first, can I? Because you were talking about Sam Briggs as your one, like an idol in CrossFit. Who would be your woman idol? Like even on CrossFit or in general?
I think in CrossFit and almost in general, it was always Julie Fisher.
Yeah.
Fisher. Yeah. So she was like, I don't know, when I even started CrossFit, I didn't know that much about CrossFit when I started, but I was always like a big fan of her.
Yeah.
And I did a podcast with her a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. So probably her. And then, otherwise it's always been, never really been like, I always look up to them. But I've always followed, like, I'm actually watching now, like Bethany Hamilton and like the surfing documentaries and stuff like that. But otherwise, just, all the girls are pretty cool.
Yeah.
How did you feel when it's really well documented, right? CrossFit did this huge change last year, and I think you're one of the very few that I've seen through any format on social media that really liked the new style because it was the unknown and all the rest of it. Did you feel like that really worked in your favor?
I think so. Like, I liked it both ways. To be honest, like, I'm not one of those ones. I'm not very good at looking far ahead in the future. So I think that's what helped. Like, people were really worried about what was happening and whether we'd be doing it like this or like that. But I think, I don't know, I just didn't really think about it at the time. And I think that probably helped. So I was like, well, we're all here and we're all just going to be doing some sort of CrossFit. So that was fine. I didn't like, I think it could have been more people for a bit longer. Like that was one thing that sort of, it was just like, even the atmosphere within the 20 competitors that were left, or the 10 girls, 10 boys, it was kind of like, it felt like there were people missing. You know, like if we had maybe like the full Saturday with 20 people, and then like Sunday the top 10, it could have been a completely different top 10. But otherwise, I think like the events were fun, and like they tested everyone well. But I guess each year it's just going to get better and better, and once they hone into how they want it all to work properly, it'll just develop.
How was, so I want to kind of touch on a few of the events from those times. One is, how electric was the stadium during the lifting event?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was like, there was so many people around, and like I've never actually lifted in an environment like that. So like I remember the first lift, they were like waiting for me to say, because I didn't know that you had to say when you wanted to go. I'm like just standing there being like, well, are you going to tell me to go? And they're like, are you ready? 2 minutes later. So that threw me off a bit. And I was like, I think just being in that pressure as well is also like what sort of stands different athletes apart from others. So I would love to do that again, just to be like, keep your mind in it. But yeah, the atmosphere was crazy. And sometimes like it is really good to feed off that. And then sometimes it's just really hard to like really dial in and focus, especially when you're waiting with like 10 other athletes. So it was fun to try to test yourself there, but yeah, it was also quite stressful.
How nuts is Amanda Barnhart when she just pops up that 100 kilo power clean, just like?
I know, always. There's so many things she does though, and I'm like with that sled, I was like, I wish I had your legs right now.
How painful was that event? The sled, 18 muscle ups, the sled, but how painful was that? Like
during the event, I don't think I felt an inch of pain. Like I remember just thinking, I think I stared at like one spot for the entire event, or from the muscle ups to the sled, like one spot in the crowd, and then afterwards I was in so much pain for like an hour. It was crazy. Like, because I think it was like I did the event and I knew I needed to sort my shit out at that point. So I did it, and then I finished, but they literally like rushed us back, and then we had quite a big walk back to like athlete briefing. We were the last heat, so we had to like get back to athlete briefing, sit there. So we got briefed on Mary, and then I remember sitting there, and I was in like, it was like the heat, so much pain, and I just wanted to cry. And Elliot was like, "You can't, just got to sit back here, just don't let anyone see you." So I sat there, kept away from everyone, and then literally after the brief just went like straight to the hotel and just sat in the shower for like an hour.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's like the stuff people don't see, like the pain. There is a bit of pain on the field, but it's like it's the worst.
Yeah. And like just even for Elliot to sit there and be like, don't let them see you cry, don't let them see you cry, you know, like.
I guess like, you're fine. You're fine. Like, so I did it as well. I'm like, you did it about an hour ago.
Yeah.
What's it like competing with him?
It's good. Like, I just like having him around in general. When we compete together, I find it like we try not to watch each other because it gets quite stressful. It's just like competing again. But I also like rely on him quite a lot more than he relies on me. So the year, I think it was 2017, he didn't compete. I was like, this is really good because I can just, because I have a coach as well. But poor Andy, I'm like, every so often I'm like, oh, where's Elliot? I need to ask him about this. So I find him very helpful to have around, but then I don't want to put that pressure on him when he's competing as well. So it works out well because when it's like the games, one of us obviously goes first, and most of the time you haven't tried the workout. So you come back and let each other know, sort of like, and we know each other well as athletes. It's like, this is how you should do it, and don't do it like this. So like I think on the stick one, he was like, do not push it high, because all the boys did and like rammed it into the ground. I was like, oh, there you go. Now I know not to do that.
Yeah. That's a hack. What events did you surprise yourself in the most?
God, I barely remember them all now.
Or like, was it like the last one when like the ringer won?
Yeah,
did you surprise yourself then?
Yeah, like the last one, I knew muscle ups I was comfortable with. And I was like, I thought the barbells would make more of a difference, but all the girls moved the barbell about the same. So it did come down to muscle ups. But I do, the last event, I was like, fucked, basically. And like my hands were after Mary, my hands were so sore, and normally I have muscle ups, and so I was like, yeah, I could do them in like 10 maybe, and then break the last one. But no, I got up there and did like 3 muscle ups, and I was like, shit, this is going to be a long workout. So it was just like, I think also just sort of like stepping up to the plate at that last point. Like I was happy with that.
Yeah.
Workouts.
Oh.
Because you had ringer 1 and 2 first, right? Yeah, was that correct? You said ringer 1 and 2, which was like the cows on the bike, and then you had the toes to ring, which is like kind of like a new movement that they haven't done before. And then you had like a minute rest, right? And then you had 15, 10, 9 burpees to ring and overhead squats.
Yeah.
Like I love that. Like I love that workout, but I would love it just in one day and not have to worry about the standard next.
Yeah.
How does Jamie Greene approach those 2 workouts, knowing you had 1 more left? Like, what was going through your head? You know, how fucked up were you from everything else, from Mary and stuff, and kind of how did that sort of cascade down the line to get to the end?
You're at the last day, and everyone's feeling, everyone's the same, feeling pretty tired. I remember the bike and toe to ring one. Like the idea was all of us knew we just had to hang on to the rings. And like with the toe to ring, it was a funny one because like on the toe to bar, you can sort of like speed up your pace, but the toe to ring just got to hang on and everyone's going about the same pace. And I was like, I need to push on the bike, but I'm not as good on the bike as some of those girls. So I was like, just hang on. You're not going to win this event. So just keep as close as you can. And then I really wanted to push it in the second one. Got to the second one again. I was fucked. Shit. But the second one, a lot of it came down to just like execution. So if you got a no rep, that did not help because like it was like if you missed the rings and the burpee, you had to do the whole burpee again. I think I did that once. So I remember thinking just like because your brain's obviously gone because you did from the bike, but if you can keep your head straight on and just like make sure you get every rep, then that counts as well. Like you've just got to sort of keep the margins really close at that point. But yeah, I remember the bike was so hard, and then the burpees and the overhead squats, it was just like everything was dying. But you knew how short it was that you could just keep on. But it was just like making sure you kept concentrated more than anything, just so you didn't get those stupid no reps.
So after ringer 2, right, completely messed up. How much time did you have between ringer 2 to the standard? Because you don't really get an illustration of how hard that is in the Fittest documentary in terms of how much time do you have to, like, was it only 30 minutes?
Yeah, I think there was a bit more than that because we didn't know the workout. So when we did the ringer 1 and ringer 2, we didn't know the last workout, and we didn't know if it was 1, 2 workouts. Yeah, so we literally finished those 2, went out to the warm-up area, which was in the Coliseum, and then you just sit on the stairs, and then he was like, yeah, we're doing the standard. And then they've got to go over all the movement standards, but by this point there's only 10 in each category, so no one really asked questions by that point. And then you just go over the movement standards, and then I think the boys go first or the girls? I can't remember. No, it was the girls. Yeah, the girls went first. And then I think we must have had like an hour or so to literally just went and warmed up and then went again. But like sometimes it's better because you don't want to like sit around for ages and wait and then do it. It's almost like let's just get it done. Everyone's like, semi-warm. But I do remember there was no rings in the warm-up area. So we had to they had to take us on like their little buggies all the way back to the other athlete briefing area, which is like a 10-minute drive. Do a few muscle ups, come back, and then warm up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like people don't add in like stuff like that. Like the walk around Madison, like the Alliance Centre in Madison is huge. So we were like back here, and then when we went back there, we ran into like Sam, Sarah, Emma, and all that, and they had just done an Ironman or like half Ironman or something. We're like,
well, wouldn't you?
As you do. So yeah, we ran into them, and then they took us back over, and then we did the final.
Wow.
Did you have an idea of how tight the points race was between you and Katrin?
Yeah, definitely. Like I do. I remember. Pardon?
She's such a gnarly competitor.
Yeah, definitely.
Was that like really nerve-wracking being on the start line, knowing she's just to your right?
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Like when it comes down to that, like I remember being in the corral and I was like, because obviously I died off a bit in those Ringer 1 and Ringer 2 and she won both of them. And I just remember being there before the stand and I was like, come on, Jamie, you put yourself in this situation, so just sort yourself out and do it. So I could have given myself more leeway, but I didn't. So it was my own fault.
What's going through your head at that moment when you already know, she's won the last two. Jamie, you need to pull your head in. But is it like, do you get revved up? What's going on? Is it like, I'm in kill mode? I'm in, what?
It's hard to say because you don't want to like you can get to the point where you're like overstimulated and just sort of like start doing stupid mistakes and stuff like that. By that point, you're just about too tired to get all that energy together.
Yeah.
But it's just sort of like you've just got to trust yourself. Like I know how many muscle ups I've done in the gym. I know how many clean and jerks. I know how many snatches I've done. And I know if you're willing to go to that place that it hurts that much, then just keep going there. Like as long as you walk over the finish line and know that you couldn't have gone any harder, then you're pretty happy with your performance. If you go over and there's like something inside you that knows I didn't push to that point, then you don't just want it anyway.
Yeah, damn, that's insane. Yeah. I mean, everyone I know that I've spoken to about that situation is we were just thinking, Jamie's like, you could see the flicker in your eyes, just like, I'm going to do this. And then I think we all just like, we're on the hunt on that last workout. We were on the hunt of like, yes, she's there. She's right there. Like, yes, cool, great. That's cool that Tia's already doing what she's doing. But come on, Jamie, come on,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think also it's just like that's like every competitor's dream to get to that point where you're like that close. Like it's no fun if it's easy.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah. And what prep do you think you'll need for this year? Well, obviously, because with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
How has that changed your training in terms of like 2020 games?
To be fair, well, the only comp that I was doing was Rogue, and that's still apparently going to be online. So I'm still just training as if that's like going to go online. For me and Elliot, we've got like so much more time to train. It's been so good. So we normally train in the day, and then we normally anywhere between 4 and 9 p.m. So like 3 or 4 hours. And like I love coaching, but it is very draining. Like obviously we have a big gym and like big classes, so we have that 4 hours at night. Sometimes if you like don't have time to eat or you're on your feet that much, like you've been training for like 6 hours of the day, it's pretty tiring. But at the moment we're only doing these like hour workouts, so one like in the evening. So having all day to train has helped so much with like recovery, and for both of us, we have to like work on strength a lot. So we have a lot more time to do our sessions. So training's been really good. We just don't know if we're training for anything. But we sort of go as if it is going ahead.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, so we do this thing on the show quite a lot. We do would you rathers, and sometimes we get pretty out there. So most come together. We're gonna kind of lighten us up a little bit. She's come together with some cool would you rathers, and then we play a game called Who Would Win in a Fight. And I have no idea who's in this, so this would be interesting.
Let's do who would win first. Let's do who would win first. Okay. Who would win in a fight between you and Elliot?
Me.
I knew you were going to say that. Who would win in a fight between you? Who do you reckon would win in a fight between Matt Fraser and Noah Olsen?
Matt Fraser.
What about Tia and Katrin?
Tia.
Okay. What about Richie or Matt?
Who?
Rich Froning or Matt Fraser?
Oh, I still think Matt Fraser. He might have a mean streak.
Okay. What about Matt Fraser and Richie McCaw?
Richie McCaw.
Yeah, handy. Okay, now I got your would you rathers, okay? No pressure. Anyway, okay. Would you rather New Zealand sunset or Dubai sunset?
New Zealand.
Speight's or Corona?
Oh, Speight's.
Weet-Bix or cornflakes?
Weet-Bix.
660 or shapeshifter?
660.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Ice cream or gelato?
Ice cream.
Fran or Grace?
Fran.
Whittaker's or Cadbury?
What's that?
Whittaker's or Cadbury?
Whittaker's of recent. Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay. Vogels with avocado or Vogels with Marmite?
Marmite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah. What would be your go-to when you get home? What's your go-to like snacks or your food that you get when you come home?
Every single time. Actually, sometimes my friends send it over. I go straight into New World and go to the Pick and Mix. I can. They have like the best Pick and Mix there. You got like candy lollies, then all your chocolates, and then
Oh yeah.
Pick and Mix.
Pick and Mix for the win, eh?
Yeah.
That is good. That is good. Oh.
Is there anything that or do you want to do a special shout out to anyone, or do you want to send a message to anyone that on the banter? We're gonna leave you with the final words.
No, just thank you for having me. It's so good to catch up with a couple of Kiwis and talk about home. I miss it, especially these.
Yeah,
well, you're more than welcome to come back anytime.
Yeah, no, you definitely can. But I'm just going to say this now is that when I reckon we'll be seeing you at some comp, we'll have our camera and we'll be like, remember that chat we had? And you're going to be like, yeah, did you bring my party mix? And I'll be like, yeah.
Yes.
With the Vogels and Marmite.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll definitely be there then. I'm really hoping next year, obviously if things go ahead like with competitions and stuff, I'm like, because I went to Australia and competed last year, so I want to drag Elliot down and compete in one of the Australian comps again, because that was fun.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. We'll be over for that then if you make that happen.
That'd be awesome.
Nah, awesome.
Yes, we will.
Before we go first, I have a few more questions because we've got some questions from some of the community. I'm going to do two of them. I'm going to do two of them before we go. If you had advice to give CrossFitters at any level, what would it be?
CrossFitters at any level?
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. So like find the stuff that you enjoy. So whether it be the gymnastics, the weightlifting, whatever, and just do it because you enjoy it, because then you're going to stick to it. And don't overthink it as well. Don't put all this pressure on yourself. Just sort of keep ticking away at it and meet some friends, have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And one more thing, what do you want to be remembered for?
Being a good time.
There it is. There it is. I think you do that well, Jamie. You show New Zealand, and that's something that I'm proud of, is that you show that that's who you are in this environment and on that platform, on the CrossFit platform, you show that. So I think thank you for that.
Well, thank you for supporting me back home.
Man. Honestly.
Yeah, it's been dope, and we look forward to seeing all your hard work and the strength stuff paying off. So when Tia Claire Toomey thinks she's won the next clean and jerk event, you come up and step up with a 125, pop that over.
Yeah, come on, Kiwis.
Yeah.
Not Australian.
Yeah, don't worry about that extra star. Just keep. Don't worry about that extra star.
Yeah.
All right, team. That is us for the banter. Thank you so much, Jamie Greene, for being an effing star, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we will be dropping. Obviously, you're watching this, so you've seen the drop. But stay tuned. We're gonna have some more guests coming up in the near very future. Stay classy. 808.
Banter out. Thank you, team.